fucking discos here again. Oh, never mind. You know. I nearly said it's a free country. Us subjects of His Majesty can do what we like. We can do whatever we want, as long as we're only doing it to each other. As long as we're only getting on one another's tits, that's alright. That will be tolerated. We're fighting amongst ourselves, nice one. But if we all get together and realise, wait a minute, wait just a goddamn minute, then the authorities will put a stop to that real quick. They'll really quickly stop that shit from happening. Yeah. They don't want any Nicolae Ceausescu. Nicolae Ceausescu getting lynched. Well, he didn't get lynched, he got literally put against the wall and shot, him and his wife. I mean, subsequently there were a video of him getting back up. Yeah. Oh, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice if they hadn't been murdered. You know, it's not something to be celebrated. Somebody being murdered. But yeah, they're dead as doorknobs, both of them. I believe it was 1989. It's the fall of the Soviet, or just preceded the fall, because he was the head honcho. He was the dictator of one of the dictatorships that were aligned with the Soviet Union. Not one of the dictatorships that were aligned with winning side. Us lot. Yeah, we won the Cold War. Yeah. We just bankrupted. We bankrupted the Soviet Union. The Soviets hadn't got with the program. The Americans figured out, well, we'll just print our own money. We'll print our own money and we'll spend it on all manner of crazy shit. All manner of endless, never-ending, something new to spend money on. Something new to develop. Something new. And as enemies, they'll just be running around trying to keep up. Try to keep up with spending. And they can't. They can't. They simply cannot, because we're printing the money. The money that we're spending doesn't exist. We just print it up. Paper money. Star Wars. STI. The The Strategic Defense Initiative. Ronald Reagan. Old Ronald. What an awesome Commander-in-Chief. Yeah. Loads and loads of documentaries. Brilliant documentaries. Shit that I've watched on YouTube. One of the recent ones, this guy is doing a deposition. He's part of this UFO disclosure. You know, I have been working on all manner of scary ass secret shit. Well, apparently he was involved in the program, whatever programs he's been involved in, for years. And he was involved when President Reagan was president. Well, apparently, as soon as President Reagan got into office, he was like, I want you to tell me what you've got on UFO. What's this UFO carry on? Apparently, it was one of the first orders of business, this guy was saying. So, they told him what they wanted to tell him. And he's like, okay. Well, subsequently, this guy on this deposition video that I watched, he recounting this story. He said, and Reagan had asked them to tell him everything they could about UFOs and the alien caper. And what were going on where, excuse me. Anyway, well, this guy giving his deposition, he recounts a story where for I guess in relationship to his work, he was at the White House to receive some award, and Reagan sort of went up to him and said, "Oh yeah, I've heard about what you're working on out in the, out that base there, very good, yeah, good." And it sort of demonstrated that as the president, he understood the chain of command. I believe he served in the United States Marines with Reagan. But he understood that even as the commander-in-chief, there was stuff that this guy at some dinner party at the White House can't be talking about. But he just wanted to say, cheers, thanks for your work. And it just, as this guy recalls this, the meeting up with Reagan and that, it just shows that Reagan, he knew what the game, he knew the game, if you will. But another documentary, and I'm pretty sure I saw this on telly. That's how long ago this other one was. And it was actually on about building a space station. I think it predates the International Space Station. But this guy he was a guy from, I don't think he was a congressman, but he was something to do with, purse strings. And he was like, oh God, we don't want to be spending money on this space bollocks. Just, for fuck's sake, we haven't got enough money. We don't have enough money. I think he might have been a financial advisor to the president or something, and it was Reagan. And he said they had this meeting, and he'd got himself ready. He'd done his work, and he had his spreadsheets ready, and he's look, we've got this much coming in, and this is a projected cost, and this, that, and the other, and we really can't afford blah 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 blah. Guys from NASA turned up with some little models of, oh, this is what we can make, Mr. President, and that were it. Tough shit. Reagan took one look at these models. Oh, look at that. Yeah. NASA knew how to sell. They knew how to sell their shit to the president. Yeah, you can tell him all you like now. Once he's clapped ties on them models, we've got him. He's in the bag. Sign off on this, Mr. President, will you? And there were another. I think it was unrelated. I'd say this is to do with the Strategic Defence Initiative, Star Wars. Oh, not George Lucas Star Wars. No, the United States government Star Wars. And they did a feasibility study. They actually set this study up to study whether it's feasible. Obviously, that's a feasibility study, you stupid twat. Yeah. But and the budget back in the 80s for this feasibility study was $600 million. This wasn't to make anything. It's just to ask some people, do you think we could do it? That's how much money we're talking. That's the levels of money back then. That's it. Last figure I heard. The Americans have currently spunked off. I'll use that language. They've spunked off $150 billion in Ukraine. It's less than 3-year-old, that caper. $50 billion a year. $50 billion. And again, $1 billion is 1,000 million. Okay, dollars. Well, actually, dollars, pounds, and euros. They're all pretty much level knockings nowadays. Billion. Billion dollars. To get through $1 billion, you'd literally, as a private citizen, you'd literally have to pile it up in a big pile and fucking burn it. 1,000 million. 1,000 million. So, well, It's over $2 million a day for a year. I mean, I've never tried, but I think I would struggle spending $2 million in a year. Oh, beg your pardon, in a day. And again the next day.